Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. This is another paid request, this time from Masi. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. It'll be for pretty much any type of video. And you wanted me to talk about the Silent Hill 2 combat trailer that was released a while ago for the remake. Now, it's being done by Blooper Team, who did Layers of Fear and the Blair Witch video game that came out a few years ago. Long story short, I do like the Silent Hill franchise. I grew up with it. My favorite is Silent Hill 1 and 2. I love those games for a lot of reasons that would take me like 20 minutes to get into. Silent Hill 3 I haven't played as much as the others, but I remember not minding it. Silent Hill 4 I'm very mixed on. I like the story, I like some of the aspects, but I hate the gameplay. Especially when the second half of the game is one long escort mission. At least if you want the good ending. That's a pain in the ass. And it's like, oh, we're going to repeat the same levels you were in, but that's a whole other thing. Homecoming, I didn't hate like other people did. There are issues with it, but I do like the game, but there are issues with it. Downpour, I haven't played too extensively. I remember there was some weird issues with the, like, fluttering or the, it wasn't a smooth gameplay or as smooth as it could have been. But I haven't played as much of that to form an opinion. Never played Shattered Dimension. What is it? I forget the one that was kind of a remake of Silent 1, but not really, not Willie Mays Hayes. I didn't play that one. Shattered Memories, I think it was called. I didn't play that one. Didn't play Silent Hill Origins. By the time I realized that game was a thing, it was too expensive. And they really haven't done anything with Silent Hill. That's the thing with Konami. After Downpour, there's the PT game, but then it got canceled because of all the dealings with Konami and the Hideo Kojima and them splitting apart. Guillermo del Toro saying, screw this, I'm gone. Now, I know I'm 3 minutes in, I haven't gotten to the trailer. But I'm just building up to give people my thoughts on the franchise and how I do not like Konami for the longest time. Really, they've just been milking Silent Hill with just pachinko machines. Because that's what people want, is pachinko machines. So now they've allowed Blooper Team, which I'm like, of all the teams, why Blooper Team? I played their Layers of Fear. It was interesting to start with, but then it got a bit repetitive. And I think the story could have been a lot better, and the ending was crappy. And I'm sitting there going, overall, I ended up not liking that game, and I thought I would. Didn't play the sequel. Blair Witch, I've seen people play the game. To be fair, I have not played the game myself. I know I can't judge the controls, but I can judge the story. And the story in that game sucks. And like there is no good ending, so I don't know what's the point of it. It just, and then like certain things that you have to do, like the best part of that game seems like it's the dog. But like that's not a stellar game, story wise, gameplay wise, based on just looking at it. So like, why would you give these guys one of the most prominent titles in horror game history, which would be a remake of this beloved game? I don't know why. Don't know why. So the trailer comes out, and it gets heavily crapped on. And I get it. I get it. Because number one, I'm sure there were people asking for some type of trailer to show what the combat would be. So if that's the case, then they give you what you want. But for me, combat is not really the primary thing I think of when it comes to Silent Hill. The reason I say that is because, honestly, in the first two games, maybe the third one too, there's a good chunk of that game you just run past the enemies. And, like, when I play Silent Hill 1, pretty much I just run past all the flying enemies and the dogs, and maybe once in a while I'll shoot them. But I just run past them. And maybe in the school I'll shoot the creatures just, to get them out of the way. But you don't have to. If you know what you're doing, you can pass all of them. I won't say it's easy to do it, but I mean, you can. And that's what I mean. It's more about exploring the town, the atmosphere of the fog or the darkness, and the soundtrack. So you give that creepy vibe. It's more about the creepy atmosphere than the action. Resident Evil is more about the shooting and action. And that's the thing when you release a trailer that says combat trailer that's focused on the combat, regardless of what some people are wanting, there's going to be a good chunk of people going, well, again, if I want action, you would go more Resident Evil. Here, people are going more to be creeped out and hopefully be scared and be the goosebumps and the psychological aspect. I mean, that's what people are more looking for towards a Silent Hill type of game. I'm not saying you can't have any combat. In fact, it's fine to have that, but that's not the primary goal. So, of course, here it's like, well, it's behind the shoulder because Resident Evil 2 Remake and Resident Evil 4 Remake, or hell, even Resident Evil 4, the original, they did that. So now they're copying Resident Evil. Which even the original Silent Hill games, I would not call inspired by Resident Evil, yes. But I wouldn't call them copies. Because, like, the inventory is very different. It's not, you only have a certain amount of slots, but then if you have too much, you gotta go in, you gotta leave this behind in a crate. Or, no, you have unlimited amount, which is great. You don't have to worry about, oh, I can't pick this up because of that. You don't have to worry about that. So the inventory system is very different. The way the camera was, it's not really fixed cameras. Well, that's not true. There are fixed cameras, to be fair. But for the most part, is the camera following you? So when you're going down these rooms and hallways, for most of it, it's the camera following you from behind and following you over this and here. And that was very different for Resident Evil. Resident Evil was like, here's a fixed camera. No, next scene, then here's one here. No, next scene, then here's one here. Silent Hill was very different from that. If the camera was able to follow the character, so it didn't. To me, I don't look at it as a influence yet. Copied, no. So if that is copying Resident Evil with the way it looks, the way it's presented, the way the action is going to be, it doesn't have its own identity. It just, there may be people that don't even know much about Silent Hill. They just go, oh, it seems like a copy of Resident Evil. Or Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil copy of those games. So the fact that it doesn't have its own identity is a weak point on that. When you look at the trailer, the fog seems nice. The outside environment seemed nice. But the inside, to me, looks like shit. It's not as grimy, it's not as dirty, it's not as creepy as it should look. There are many indoor scenes in Silent Hill 2 that look like the walls were rotting and decomposing, and it just felt creepy. Nothing about this got the urge of this will be creepy. Nothing. Now maybe because the old school way the graphics are, or the rougher actually kind of adds to the creep factor, but again, whether it be, if not Resident Evil, then Evil Within, various other things just remind you of those games. The way the lead character walks, he walks like he got a stick up his ass. He's got to go to the bathroom. He's got to hurry. He can't move too much because he don't want to poop his pants. He said poop. He called the shit poop. Or he got a stick up there. When he's doing the stick thing and hitting it doesn't feel satisfying. Callisto Protocol, however, people make fun of that game, some legitimate. When you hit it, I felt this big impact, blood splatter, they fly back. And this is supposed to be PlayStation 5, by the way. But at least you felt the impact, you felt the blood, you felt like the power. Doesn't sound like it with the sound effects. Same with the guns. The guns sounds like every gun is on a silencer, which is like a spit gun or pea shooter. Now, before I go on with the other stuff, actually, no, I'll go through it. Just hold off on your comments. Just wait. The sound effects sound bad. The guns sound weak. The animation, of course, is not polished because it's not done yet. I'll get to that. It's not done yet. I get it. But it's a bad first impression. The QuickTime. It's not the first Silent Hill that have QuickTime. Technically, Homecoming, I think, had it. Because you put your hand in the wall and you had to tap quickly. Same with if you had to cut this thing open, you have to tap it. So technically Silent Hill Homecoming had QuickTime. Even that, there'd be creatures that would grab you and spit on you and you'd have to shake them off. So now you're stealing from Homecoming, which is considered one of the worst ones by a lot of fans. I don't mind the game. It has its flaws, but a lot of people didn't like that. So people didn't want QuickTime put into Silent Hill 2. And then it's funny that the creatures that grab him have no arms. How the hell are they grabbing them? With their dicks? That we can't see? The dick just grabs James and get off. Then you're grabbing James, but they have no arms. So how the hell are they grabbing them? And they're doing that theme where if you get hurt, like more of the screen you can't see. I hate that stuff in games nowadays. Where the more you get hurt, the more you can't see. I'm like, I'm trying to get help, but I can't see. Just let me press a button in the menu and I can check the health myself. If I didn't check, that's my fault. Don't make it so I can't see. I hate that in newer games. Stupid. But they do it because, well, we don't want you to get... No, like... Like Dead Space and Callisto Protocol, they did that well, where the health is on the back, or the back of the neck, or the back of the spine. That's a better way of doing it then. Some of the nurses he shoots, some of them are red blood, but some of them are green blood. And there are times he's like shooting, but it seems like he's shooting here, but he hits over here. And then the impact, like the shotgun, again, the sound is bad, but the way the shotgun is, it's like you think it would do much more damage. And again, not only do some of the nurses have green blood for some reason, but then like it shoots ahead, it looks like rocks or pebbles fall out. When they made a fist of stone, hands of stone. Why they made of stone? Because it looks like rocks explode. Pebbles. It just came off as a lesser version of a Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 4 remake. Or 3, I guess. 2, 3, 4. A lesser Resident Evil remake. That's what it comes off as. No creep factor, but it's a combat. It's meant to show that more. Which I think that's the bad idea, is that should be the first big showcase of gameplay. It should be the show how scary, how creepy it's going to be, not what the action is. The fact that that's the first thing you go was a bad call. Like, that's not, for a good chunk of the audience, that's, there may be people, yeah, of course, curious about it, of course. But I think a good chunk of the audience, they're more about how creepy is it going to be? How scary is it going to be? How atmospheric is it going to be? How you don't play with the world? Play around with it. That's what people are going to be more interested in. And then come to find out that a lot of these issues you say it's not a finished game. It's in development. Who knows when? I would not be surprised if it not released this year. Either they're going to try to release it the end of 2024, or they're actually going to wait till 2025, which that becomes a problem because on the one hand, you want them to wait until they do it right. That makes sense. Don't rush it. Get it out when it's right. Okay. On the flip side, you don't lose even more worries of people of, well, damn, it's still delayed, and so they're, well, I don't have a good feeling about this. But then that's why a lot of companies, they jump the gun and they release it, and then when you play it, then there's like 18 patches in the first day to download to fix all the stuff. Now, granted, I don't have a PlayStation 5, so I'm not playing the game anyway. So I guess, in truthfulness, I don't care. And the fact of PS5 is just so damn expensive. I'll never be getting it. It's way too expensive. I would like to. I like to play the RoboCop game. I love to play the RoboCop game, the Dead Space remake. Maybe see what the Callisto Protocol is on PS5. So as I play on PS4 and there's a lot of glitches. Maybe I would like to play it, but again, it's just too expensive for my finance. I'm very stingy with money. Very stingy. But at the same time, it's like, if you get this wrong, if you do this as goes down bad, I know it's an over-exaggerated expression, but it could kill the franchise. Now, granted, they're trying to put a lot of... But here's the thing, if a lot of the Silent Hill stuff, just they're trying to put that, like, here's this game and this game and this game. Like I say, if a lot of them fail, especially Silent Hill 2, it's like, well, we try to do it. Who knows how long you'd have to wait for the next one. And it's one of those things where, yeah, you say with the trailer that a lot of it's not done. So, of course, the sound effects will be better. The hit detection will be better, you would think, when they get more polished. But at the same time, if that's the case, then don't show this trailer because it did more harm than good. Because a lot of people, not all, but a lot of people saw that trailer and went, this looks like shit. As did I. I'm like, this looks like shit. And then, from what I understand, Blooper Team didn't want that trailer out in the first place. Apparently, yeah, there was a trailer, but Konami edited it. They released it without Blooper Team's permission. That's why when the trailer came out, Blooper Team did not retweet it. Just like, yeah, hey, by the way, take a look. They didn't retweet it because they didn't like it. They didn't want it. They got mad about it. And there was talks of, like, Konami wants to, destroy the game. And I'm sitting there going, why would Konami want that? I think it's more just stupidity. just Konami, what the hell have they done lately in terms of horror games and so forth? In terms of releasing product worth a crap. What was the last thing they did worth a spit? You tell me in the comments. And they released that free one. I saw my friend Michael Team play it. It looked like crap. It's more about this girl that about teenagers ending their lives, and she's got the phone, use it as a flashlight, and has to have trigger warnings every 5 minutes. It's like, we get it, just show it once. And it didn't seem like Silent Hill to me. It felt like some indie game that Markiplier would play or PewDiePie would play on their channels. More like Markiplier would play. That's what it seemed like to me. And not Silent Hills. I mean, it's free, but I don't have a PS5, so I couldn't play it anyway. But I wouldn't want to play it. It just seemed lame. I mean, if that's what they think horror is. But it is a Blooper Team. Different company, but... So now you have this fighting between Blooper Team and Konami. Blooper Team that made classics like Blair Witch, and Konami that hasn't done much worth a spit in the longest time. So, which side are you on? It's kind of hard to be on either side. And now you have butting of heads. How's that going to affect the product? And how long is it going to be delayed? And there was no date on that trailer. It just says in development. And Capcom got lucky. Well, not lucky, but Resident Evil 2, 3 wasn't as beloved, but Resident Evil 4, those remakes, they were able to do a good enough job. They got a lot of people happy. Resident Evil 4 is one of my favorite games of all time. Wasn't sure on the remake. Played it on the channel, because I was thankfully on PS4. Ran fairly well on PS4. And it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I quite liked the Resident Evil 4 remake. Quite liked it. It was the best remake I played. And there's some stuff I wish they didn't cut out. And they put in Ada's story, which I don't care about that. I'd rather it be in the main story. And not cut out to be put in that. I think that's BS. Let's cut stuff out of the main story and put in this DLC that I don't care to play. Because I don't care about Ada. Because the Ada in that game sucks. If it was Ada in the original game, okay. But that Ada, the voice acting sucks. You know, that's a whole other thing. But I did like that remake. But yeah, this... being delayed for so long... a lot of pressure, a lot of hype. You have a first trailer. It's so divided. At the very least, it's a very divided trailer. Then this infighting between Blooper Team and Konami. Call me cynical. I'll say this. I think it's doomed. And if I'm wrong, I win both ways. I win either way. Because, okay, I'm wrong, but it came out with a good product that people enjoy, that people will have satisfying experience with again and again, hopefully. And then, hopefully, Silent Hill, which is a franchise I enjoy, will go on and flourish. And if I'm right, then hey, I'm right. I'm not happy at being right, but I'm right. So... I think it's doomed. I think it'll come out and the environments will be good looking, but I don't think it's going to be a scary game. I don't think it's going to be a creepy game. I think that's going to disappoint a good chunk of people. Because Blooper Team, they're not known for making scary, creepy games. Layers of Fear tried, I think the first chunk of it, I was into it, but then as it went on, that fell away very quickly. I played the game on the channel. You'll see how my experience was with that game while I'm into it, and then as it goes on, I'm like, you see my interest wane. Blair Witch, I don't have. I don't know. Maybe some. If someone requests it, maybe I'll play it one day. But I don't have the game though, so I'd have to get it too. But anyway, I don't think Blooper Team is really the right place to showcase stairs and creepy atmosphere and to really get your blood pumping. Konami, they're only doing this to, of course, get on the Resident Evil success bandwagon. And the fact that the look of it is trying to be Resident Evil, trying to be more of a copy, the fact that the trailer left a lot to be desired. At the very least, it looked mundane and typical, and nothing original or unique. The styles, I mean, and look what Alan Wake 2. No, I did not play the game because I don't have a PS5. But even if I did, I don't think I would want to play that because I saw my friend play it and it looked like ass. Story-wise, gameplay-wise, I think I would hate that game, and I like the first Alan Wake. And that, again, tried to play like Resident Evil 2, 3, 4 remakes. So now they're all copying that style. So now no one has their identity. Now, granted, there are games that have done that in the past I enjoy. Cold Fear, which that's not fair because that came out at the same time as Resident Evil 4. But The Evil Within, I remember liking. I have Evil Within 2. I haven't had a chance to play it because I've just been busy with other stuff. Also, I would like to get the first Evil Within for PS4 and maybe do that one day down the road. It'd be nice, but sorry about that. Maybe one day. But yeah, the trailer sucked sweaty balls. I don't think it's gonna get better. But I'd love to be proven wrong. We'll see. But thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.